Welcome to the CEO Shift with your host, Shondell Spader, owner and CEO of Spader Group. In this series, you'll hear fast, focused conversations with business leaders and experts who've made the real shifts needed to scale past the plateau. Each episode delivers CEO level insight in 15 minutes or less, because real growth doesn't need more noise, just better decisions.
Hello and welcome to the CEO Shift. I am excited to be bringing Lisa Apolinsky onto the show with us today. She is the authority on authority power, helps professionals become industry go-to experts through strategic content and brand development. With 30 plus years of marketing experience, she has helped clients generate over $1.5 billion in new revenue. A five-time author, her insights on digital storytelling have been featured in Forbes and the New York Times. Lisa, I can't wait to hear more from you. Thank you so much for being here and welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Shondell. I'm so excited to talk to you. I'm always excited to talk to you. But
Thank you. Likewise. So as we dive in, for those of you who have listened, or if you haven't, our general way of kicking these sessions off is diving right into that zone of genius. So, Lisa, I would love to hear from you in your words. What's your zone of genius, your area of expertise, and like the area that you want to focus on for today's conversation?
yeah, absolutely. So I consider my area of genius being the authority on authority power. So what does that even mean? So I help authors, speakers, consultants, business owners who want to establish their authority so that they are the clear go-to in their industry for the problem that they solve. So to me, the best sentence I ever hear is, I know a guy. And my
Okay.
clients want to be that guy. So
Yeah.
how do you become that instant authority where people are like, oh, you have that problem? And not just the clients think that, but people maybe that you haven't even worked with think that, right? Or
Right.
they're your referral partner and they're like, oh, you know, you need someone to help you with all things financial, accounting, bookkeeping. I mean, Shondell. I'm like, there's no question in my mind. This is the person you talk to. And if you don't,
Thank you.
what's wrong with you, right? So when we think about that authority, like you said, we have to understand our area of genius, what we want to be known for, and we have to clearly define the problem that we solve so that we can show the solution.
Right. So when we get to that solution space and we're able to say, oh my goodness, we hear you, we understand you, and we can solve it, like what a game changer for folks.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Um, you know, there's so much uncertainty in today's world. I mean, things are shifting like every other day, and people are
Right.
just freaked out. And if they
Yep.
can say, out of all this chaos, I have this one anchor, this one trusted authority that I can go to, and I know will show up consistently, completely, and in a way that transforms my business each and every time.
Right.
That's you can laugh all the way to the bank with that. That's gold.
Right. Well, and it's so important to have that. And um, I think when you have that, oh, I know a guy, right? I know a gal,
Yeah,
I know someone, you absolutely have to work with them. I think that has already broken down a layer of discomfort for the person purchasing, right? Like, oh, I trust Lisa. Lisa said to use so and so. I already trust them because I full-heartedly trust Lisa's opinion and recommendations. Um,
absolutely. Absolutely.
and I mean, that that whole existence, I think, it's built on relationship, right? It all goes back to starting with relationship and putting your best foot forward and doing the things that make it easy for someone to say, oh, you have to work with so and so. Like you said, kind of that no-brainer. I know I'm going to jump in and I heard this need. Boom, here's your person.
Yeah, absolutely. And you also want to establish your authority and your credibility so that you're showing up consistently the same way, whether it's on a stage, in a book, you know, on a podcast, on your social media, when you have the client calls, so that they already feel like they know you. And when
Yeah.
they feel like they know you, that's like you said, that's the relationship really starting to be built before you ever have an actual conversation with them. And I love those kinds of conversations when someone comes to me and says, "I've been following you for years and I'm ready to work with you. I've made it to this point." And then it's a conversation around how we work together. Not, well, what's it going to
Right.
cost and what am I getting? And those kinds of limiting questions. To me, those are transactional questions. I want
Right.
relationship questions where they ask, how often can we talk? Um, you
Hmm.
know, when we're done with our program, do I have the ability to continue to talk to you? Can I set
Right.
something up? I mean, think about that. Especially if you're an agency owner, if someone's already thinking beyond the initial project to future
Right.
work,
Right.
that's mind
They're there for
blowing.
the long haul.
They're there for the long haul because they already feel like you have a relationship together. And making sure that you're consistent, that you always add value, helps to build that relationship over time and makes it a very easy transition into the actual engagement. I've had engagements or conversations where I had to almost fight off the person on the phone because they just were ready to work with me. And I'm like, time out. We have to establish what we're going to do and what we're going to accomplish. And,
Right.
like, slow down. I want to make sure that we're setting up expectations and I know what you
Right.
need so that we're leveraging your budget in the best way possible.
Which I think is huge, right? Like we too don't want to work with just anyone. We want to work with the right fit clients, right? We want to make sure that it is a win for our client to work together. And it needs to be a win for us to work together because that's when that synergy and that long-term relationship really works out the best, right? I know when
Right.
I get emails, and it'll typically be from folks who found us, through Google or on the internet. So, somehow they came across us, and their first question is like, "How much do you charge?" Well, we have packages, but we also do customizations, and I don't know anything about what your setup is, so I actually can't answer that. It's not to be deflective, right? I truly can't answer it to know
Right.
if I'm, putting you in package 1, 2, or 3, like what actually fits for you. So,
Right. Right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
those are usually our like orange flags. I won't call them full on red flags because we
They're
have
not
had some
full on red
successful
flags,
conversations.
but
Right. They are if
yeah.
that's the only thing they want, right? If they're not willing to answer anything else or like take the phone call, take the time to have the call to say,
Right.
"Oh, you need more information from me to better assess the situation." Great. Fine, we can dive in there. Sometimes people
Right.
ask the money question because they just don't know where else to start, and that's okay too. But yeah, it is a great I didn't always do the relationship first selling, right? Like that's not how I stepped into this. So, and when I
Right.
adopted that idea, and thankfully, I had some excellent coaching early on that was like, no, you build a relationship first, and you're not going in saying, okay, this is what I charge. Are you ready to buy? It was more about that relationship side and being patient and all of those, and so very grateful because it allowed us to build a relationship first business and
Yeah.
structure here at Spader Group. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And when you think about authority, yes, we want to get those right fit clients. Absolutely. We're in the business of making money. However, we're also
mhm,
in the business of building community where people can help one another. I
yeah.
I got a text from a client this morning and she's like, "Are you sitting down?" And I'm like, "I am." She's writing a book. She wanted to do a forward and she had a whale for who she wanted to ask. And she thought, oh, there's no way. There's no way he knows about me. There's just no way. And I was like,
Hmm.
we've been working for a while and you've been steadily and consistently leaning into your authority. And she
Hmm.
has 50 plus years of experience. I mean, she
Okay.
is not like she just came out of the off the boat
Right.
yesterday. She is like, has been doing this for a long time, and has put in a work, but never in a very controlled, narrow focus to really show her area of genius.
Okay.
And when she started doing that, and now she's writing a book, or it's her second book, um, I was like, let's go after the big whale. I bet you he does know who you are because she's been following him for decades, right? She has every book he's
Right.
ever written. It's insanity. And it took him like 4 days, and he responded and he was like, absolutely. I would love to write your foreword and support you. And she
Oh.
was like, oh my God. And I want to point something out. It doesn't, it doesn't matter the number of followers you have on LinkedIn.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm just going to state it. It doesn't really matter. Your authority can come from anywhere, and you have to start at zero to build up
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, no matter where you are. She has not even 500 followers, and
Oh, wow.
she
And
was
isn't it
able to.
500 plus? Like
Plus, yeah,
it
she's
stops
not
counting
even
at
there yet, I
500?
don't think. I
Okay.
don't think she's
Okay.
there yet. And that's okay. And I told her it doesn't matter. Do it, do it, do it. And the person that she connected with, he has like, I don't know, 60,000 followers.
Right.
It just
So
shows you
cool.
that in the digital space, there's a lot going on. And if you're worried about that social chasing, about just looking at numbers, then you're not going to go after big players. You're not going to go after your uh, North Stars. You're going to feel intimidated to actually have conversations with them. And you have an area of genius, you have an authority, and you have a voice and a story, and people want to hear it. That's the thing that I really have to help my clients with. They have this like imposter syndrome, right? Like, no, I'm
Mm.
not good enough. You are. I would say the bad word, BS. I don't have Susan Byers, BS bomb, but
Right, right.
you know what I'm talking about. I know it's
I do.
somewhere here. But it's important to understand that even if they have 50, 60, 100, 200, 500,000 followers, every time they post, just like every time you post, you worry in the back of your mind, does this really have value? Are people going to like it? Are people going to comment on it? Is it going to flop? Everyone has those concerns, everybody. And it's
Yep.
okay. If you find your North Stars and you show them that support and love in their posts, with the comments you make, sharing their posts, augmenting their authority, it does come back to you. It does come back to you.
That's so great. All right. So I know there's going to be a long list of things that you are passionate about, but Lisa, if you had like one topic you could share today, like what is it that you think CEOs, business owners, agency owners, like what do they need to know right now?
Yeah, so right now, and I mentioned this earlier, we're in just utter chaos. I mean, this is like, gods of mischief. This is Loki written all over it, right? This is just insanity. And every single client that I speak to says, I know I have to do something, but I'm afraid to make the first move. I'm afraid to take the action because what if it's wrong? What if I spend money that I shouldn't have? What if it
Yeah.
would bombs? And this is so true for us in the service industry, right? We're sharing our
Right.
knowledge, and anybody can say anything. You can have a fool tell you
Yeah.
that they're an expert, and if
Yep.
they're convincing enough, you'd believe them. And, one of the problems that I hear from my clients, and I would be a millionaire if I had a dollar every time I heard this. I spent all this money on marketing and I got no results from it.
Uh,
I hear
yep.
that every single day, every single
Yep.
day. And at this point, people are so afraid. Well, if I spend this money, what if tomorrow there's a zombie apocalypse or something blows
Right.
up, or, there was we go to war
Yeah.
with Canada or something crazy. Like, what if
Don't put
something
that out there.
happens? Yeah, I shouldn't, right? Touch wood. And I don't want to make the wrong decision. if you have leaned into your authority, if you have shown that you show up every time to provide value, that you're relentlessly helpful, that you give a hug and a shove, and you want people to succeed, that risk factor goes down dramatically, dramatically. And I always say this, I love to cook. If I wanted to take a cooking class and I had to choose between Joe No Name and Gordon Ramsay for spending my money, who do you think I would choose?
Yeah. I'd
I
go cook
would
in the kitchen
choose,
with Gordon Ramsay.
oh my God.
I,
And I would spend thousands of dollars to do it because I
yeah,
know I'm going to get my investment back. I
right.
believe that I'll get the return. I really got to tag Gordon Ramsay in some of these videos because I talk about him all the time. I mean, just the
Right.
amount of, and he's no BS and he's just like, those pots are garbage and those knives are horrible and, your
Yep.
technique sucks. But that's what you need, right? Because you want to
Right.
learn rapid fire.
Well, he follows up the criticism with and here's the better way to do it, right? So he takes that
Yes.
risk out of it. He
Right.
absolutely, yep,
Yeah.
yep, I
And
fully agree. Like
that he'll deliver. You know that he's
yep.
not some charlatan, that he actually knows what he's doing.
Mhm.
And, I've watched a lot of his stuff and I did notice that he will explain things so you
Mhm.
understand the why behind the what, which is
Right.
awesome. And it helps me be a better cook, a better chef. I wouldn't say chef.
Yep.
I'm a cooker, I guess. Not really a baker, a cooker.
I've turned into my
Not a chef.
9-year-old sous chef, so I don't even know what I am anymore either.
Yeah, exactly. But I would spend the money. So the money isn't the issue. It's
Yeah.
what I'm going to get for the time and resources and money that I'm spending. And
Yeah.
people will pay top dollar if they believe that they will get to the success point that they need to get to. And that is true for anyone. You will
Yeah.
spend money if you know it's going to work. The
Yep.
question then becomes, how do you become that authority where they're like, yeah, I'm going to throw a ton of money at you because I know things will work out. And that's what we want agency owners, business owners to start thinking about. What am I doing? If I would tell you, you can only, and you talked about this earlier, if you could do one thing only all day, every day, that's the only thing that you do, which is not reality. But if that was it,
Right.
then you know your passion and the problem that you solve. And then it's figuring out how in that solution you are transformative, disruptive, unique. None of the ers.
Hmm.
Faster, better, cheaper. No.
Right.
We
Right.
don't want competent. We want a very high level of skills. And I believe everyone has it. I truly believe that. And I believe that, I've talked to clients who throw, one thing they do and they just throw it out like it's nothing. And I'm like, no, 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 that's mind blowing. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, it is.
Right. Right. Well, Lisa, this has been highly informative. Um, for folks that are listening, how do they get a hold of you if they want to learn more and they want to, again, dive deeper into what you do and how you help people shine?
Yeah, absolutely. So the to me, the best way to get a hold of me and to get plenty of my content that is free, because I give away a lot of free stuff, a lot of free tips, go and connect with me on LinkedIn. Fastest way. I'm the only Lisa Apolinsky on there. So it's easy to find me, uh, which is great. And then subscribe to my newsletter and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do interviews. I have my own TV show. I interview experts. I turn it into a LinkedIn post. I post stuff on LinkedIn all the time. Uh,
Okay.
I give away a ton of stuff. And you can also, if you connect with me on LinkedIn, you can ask I always give a free 30-minute consult call where we get clarity around what you're struggling with. I probably will give you a few tips on there for free because I'll see something and go, fix this, do that, do that. That immediately moves the needle. So that's the fastest way.
Excellent.
And make sure if people want to give you a free consult call, take it. There is no
Got it.
cost to a conversation. Always
Right.
take the freebie. Even if it ends up being salesy at the end, who cares? I don't ever sell. I want to get to know you, and I want to get to know what you're struggling with and see how I can support you immediately, whether that's giving you a little bit of free information, a little bit of free coaching, connecting you with somebody. I've connected people that I've spoken to, and they've gotten work. And I love
That's
doing that.
fantastic.
I love
Right.
doing stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe there's never a wasted conversation when it moves somebody forward. It,
Yes.
it might not always result in we have a new client, working relationship. But we have the same thing, right? We have the consultation call, no strings attached, not salesy, none of that.
Yeah.
And really, truly, it's a way for us both to learn, like, does this make sense or not? Can I be helpful
Right.
to you or not? And again, run away with a couple of golden nuggets that help you be able to do things on your own for a little while longer. Great. Like that, it's all budget friendly. It's making sure that things are
Absolutely.
in alignment. So, well,
Yeah.
Lisa, thank you again for being here. I'm so grateful we had the opportunity to connect and jump on here for the CEO shift. We will have your contact links, the LinkedIn, your YouTube channel, those things,
Awesome.
all included here with the
Awesome.
show and the information that
Yeah.
goes out. So
And buy one of
I
my books. They're only like 10 or $20. That's also a
love it.
low-hanging fruit
Love
for
it. And
sure.
I know I've heard so many great things. I have not yet. We haven't dove into any of them yet, but I'm really looking at that personal brand one there behind you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good deal. Well, again, Lisa, thank you. Take care. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Thanks, Shondell.
Thanks for tuning in to the CEO Shift. Ready to take your next step as a strategic CEO? Download our free 4-step CEO decision guide, the exact framework business leaders use to stop spinning their wheels and start scaling with clarity. Grab your copy at spadergroup.com/CEO-guide and start making decisions like a CEO today.